Lucky Boys Podcast.
Well, let me ask you a question. Right now, with the advent of a lot of Asian properties, particularly coming out of South Korea, hitting the mainstream. Like, hey, I love BTS. I'm a
Squid
BTS
Game.
army. You know,
Yeah.
Squid Game.
Yeah, the actors
Parasite.
there, they actually thought that a couple of the actors were very handsome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, see, I found this TikTok. You know, I don't really use TikTok, but I saw this one TikTok about a guy saying how in recent months, I guess maybe the last year, Asian men have been fetishized recently, and I'm assuming it's BTS had a lot to do with it, and a lot
sure.
of right and.
By the younger, I think it's a younger female generation. The older ones already kind of made up their mind.
Yeah, but
they developed their taste buds.
I still, and maybe I am the exception, but I've even found in my dating life that Caucasian women are starting to look at me much differently, even women that are my age as well. But this TikTok video that I saw was an Asian guy talking about like, oh, for the first time ever, Asian men are being fetishized, and you know, and then he was making points that you know, well, other people are saying you shouldn't fetishize, like other Asian men are saying don't fetishize us in the same way like you shouldn't fetishize our Asian sisters, but this guy is saying, well, whoa, wait a minute,
Pump the brakes on that one.
This is the first time we're being fetishized ever.
Yeah.
Let us have this.
Yeah, man. Like,
and I looked at that and I'm kind of like, I get it, because you know, like, I don't like it when our sisters are fetishized, right? Mm-hmm. And, you know, we shouldn't have a double standard. We really shouldn't. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I grew up in a society where I was never perceived as attractive.
Let's level the playing field.
No. You make a great and valid point. See, it's the double standard thing. It's a little different when it comes to Asian males and Asian females. Like you said, most Asian males growing up were told that they were not attractive, even if they are attractive. Let's just say they're very proportioned. Let's say they have a good height,
symmetry,
or their symmetry. They have good style, whatever. If they're built, they're strong. They'll still get overlooked, right? The Fong Brothers was here, and he was like saying, like, if you're not like to some people, like, I guess the point he was making was like, you could be like an Asian 9, but that's the same thing as a white 5.
Yep.
Right. So we're
always at a disadvantage.
Yeah. So for the first time, to the point you're making, that Asian men are actually being looked as of higher value in a dating type of setting, or sexualized. And any man, white, black, Asian, Hispanic, whatever, right? I think we don't get, just speaking as a man, forget about the color in my features. We don't get compliments hurled at us normally. Men do not get complimented on a regular basis. It's actually very rare. A lot of men, and the men listening, and for the women, I'll give you a little secret if you don't know yet. Men, if you compliment them, they'll remember that shit forever.
Yes.
Forever.
Yeah.
Like,
if you give them, we were in Vegas.
Like, seriously, there's a couple of girls that I received compliments from in the past. That just like tattooed in my brain. Yeah. It's like, wow, you really thought.
So it's also like the reason why it is tattooed in our brains is because we grew up feeling so
overlooked,
and we were literally not necessarily taught, but the actions of other people have ingrained in us that we are not attractive.
Yeah. And it doesn't help with the media representation during that time, right?
So going back to that TikToker who's like, well, wait, pump the brakes. I'm loving this. Yo, keep the fetishization, the hypersexualization of Asian men, because this is the first time we're experiencing it. Now, I just wanted to get your guys' thoughts on it, because like, after your explanation, I'm actually I'm inclined to agree with you now that I'm on board with hey, bring it on, because for the first time ever, I'm considered attractive in the eyes of the mainstream. Bring it on. You know, I was initially thinking like, okay, well, you know, I don't like it when it happens to my sister, so I shouldn't like it when it happens to me, right? So, what are your thoughts on that, Norm?
I mean, we're talking about compliments, right? Everyone loves compliments, but we're talking if it gets into harassment territory, which is usually the case for Asian women, fetishization of Asian women,
then that's dangerous.
That's wrong.
Gotcha.
Right? So I mean, I look at it both ways, but you know, I like compliments. You know, when a girl from any background, or race compliments me, I take it. I say thank you, I appreciate that. But if it comes to harassment and she's following me, she's asking for my number, I'm on the train or something, and then I walk out, she walks out. No, that's not cool. That's
weird.
Cool.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah.
So I think we're still far from that. I don't know if that's
Yeah, I'm listening.
I think we're good for now.
No, we're not gonna have that problem unless we become like ultra famous.
Yeah. Unless BTS blows. I mean BTS.
Need Thought Patrol.
Yeah.
But I think the consensus is that finally Asian men are being seen in a better light than we have in the last however old we are.
Lucky Boys Podcast.